Yes, sir. This is the Cardiacs, an English rock band formed in 1977. They began as Cardiac Arrest, led by Tim Smith. These guys are over the top with eccentric stage shows and intense composition. They have been listed as influential to Blur, Faith No More, and Napalm Death. This band had a polarizing effect on the press. They were a cross between punk and prog. There was also a smattering of ska, a modicum of medieval music, some Fairport folk, and even some guitar hymns, all pushed into the cauldron and mixed up at a very high temperature. One critic wrote, "A Cardiac song contains more ideas than most other musicians' entire careers." Tim Smith didn't like the prog punk label. He insisted that the Cardiacs was a pop band. He also denies that Gentle Giant was an influence. But of course it was. The lyrics sound like Old English, but they are poetic and nonsensical. Smith's voice is high and reedy. He doesn't provide lyric sheets, preferring to shroud his songs in mystery. This lets fans do their own interpretations, which they would do anyway. Their management is staged to represent strict Edwardian and cutthroat businessmen, and Smith refers to them as Norway's school nannies. It's all part of the show, management appearing on stage as foils to the excess of the band. So in other words, these people would dress in business suits and come on stage and try to direct traffic during the show. In performance, the Cardiacs reject and parody rock band posturing. Between songs, Smith would alt outskits to present eric emotions somehow connected to the narrative of the sounds, which was known only to Smith, and these often presented as childlike pouts, building to outright raging, and the faux management would intervene. "Come on, Mr. Smith, come on back out to stage and put on a show for these nice people." And then in 1981, they self-released a cassette album called Toy World. Tim Smith also published 2 comic books, Peter and His Dog and Peter and His Dog Spot. I wonder what these were about. The Cardiacs' classic lineup took shape as a sextet in '84. That was Tim Smith on vocals and guitar, Jim Smith on bass and vocals, William Drake on keyboards and vocals, Sarah Smith on sax and vocals, Tim Quay on percussion and bass synthesizer, and Dominic Luckman on drums. The album was The Seaside, released on their own label, Alphabet. And they became the bizarre and sinister Alphabet business concern, and it was at this time that the Cardiacs evolved into an elaborate stage show complete with confetti, Mark Millions vocalists Fish offered the Cardiacs an opening role on Marillion's tour. Marillion's fan base was all WTF, boys. The press portrayed Tim and Sarah as incestuous, even though they weren't brother and sister. This was a publicity stunt that backfired. Englanders don't like incest, real or imagined, apparently. See Jerry Lee Lewis. Their next album was A Little Man and a House and The Whole World Window. The single, Is This the Life, charted. The follow-up LP was On Land and In the Sea, went in 1989. This was the end of the classic lineup. Sarah had had enough. Other band members would sneak out until the Cardiacs were a quartet. And this group had a side project called the Sea Nymphs, and this was also the title of the next album in '92. They were now a basic guitar band, but the music remained adventurous and unique. Radiohead, notable, opened for the Cardiacs at the beginning of their awesome career. Cardiacs' next album, Sing to God, their most epic recording to date. In 2008, Tim Smith had a heart attack, and he was left with dystonia, a rare neurological disorder that affected muscle contractions, and sadly, this would be the Cardiacs' ending. And Tim died in 2020, proving that his illness was no hoax, even if his fans wanted to think that.